Welcome to Cringe Club, the podcast that celebrates everything cringe with me, Emily Jane Clark. Now, I hope you enjoy this one. It gets off to possibly the cringiest start of any podcast ever. Me and Alex do get a little bit carried away. Remember, what happens in Cringe Club, well, gets broadcast to you lot. I'm really excited to welcome into my Cringe Club today author of Rules for Vampires and the hilarious Ministry of Mischief books. It's Alex Foulkes.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you so much. I'm really, really excited to be part of the club. So thank you, EJ, for having me along. I just can't wait to get started.
Well, this is your chance to get everything and anything off your chest. You know, we're talking childhood cringes, adult embarrassments. So this is your chance to unleash it all into the world and hopefully at the end feel a bit lighter for it, maybe.
I was born for this.
It goes either way. Some people feel brilliant for getting off the chest. Some people actually feel a bit grubby for having relived all their moments. So, you know, that's good. Either way, it'll be entertaining. I can already tell that you are going to be the perfect person to join in the Cringe Club fun.
I knew as soon as I heard about this that this was my destiny. I feel that, you know, this is a little bit of a match made in heaven or perhaps a match made in hell.
Yes, yeah.
And I am here for it. So that's wonderful. Thank you.
That's brilliant. I mean, I've already found out that you prefer the smell of dog poo to dog food.
EJ, it's true. I do. Listen, we were talking about owning a dog and the grossness of picking up dog poo. And I'm just going to say it with my full chest. I said that I think that the smell of dog food is worse than dog poo.
She did say
that. I did say that, and I
quite
stand
proudly,
by that.
I feel. But whereas I actually quite like the smell of dog food, so
a little bit too much, some may say. You're quite enthusiastic about.
I wasn't I? I mean, I am a bit of a carnivore. Do like a bit of steak, so maybe that's what I'm thinking. But I love the smell of that tinned dog meat that we used to have for our dogs growing up. I don't have a dog anymore. Maybe that's because I don't trust myself not to eat their food. Who knows? But also because I can't do the poo thing. I just can't. I know a lot of dog owners say, well, it's all right if it's your own dog, isn't it? But
I know what you mean. We have had phantom dog poo on the front lawn from time to time, and there is nothing that makes me angrier than having to pick up someone else's dog poo. So, you know, I think I do get that. I understand that.
And also that's annoying. And why are they doing it on your lawn? How rude.
I know. Unbelievable. Well, you know what? Funnily enough, I think I've discovered the culprit. Because I saw a lady down our road. I'm going to out her now. She has the cutest chihuahua. His name is Yoda. He has like big ears. And I did see him doing his business on another neighbour's garden. So I'm wondering whether Yoda is the phantom pooper.
Yes. Well, what did you go and have a look at the poo to check it was the similar, you know?
You know what? Funnily enough, I didn't examine the poo, but I should have done.
See, a true poo detective would have been over there with their camera comparing poos.
Got my magnifying glass out and just seen whether it was proportional because he's so small that he only does very little poos. Yeah. And I bet they probably kind of go a bit undercover in the long grass a lot of the time. So, yes, I'll have to update you. I'll send you a message sometime.
Please do. And I just hope the poo on your front lawn is actually a dog poo. Can you tell, as dog people, can you tell a human poo from a dog poo?
I mean, I don't regularly come across human poo. I mean, the only human poo that I've really encountered would be either my own poo, which, you know, as we know, is like tiny little rabbit poops with like rainbows coming off them.
Of course.
And then there was the time as a TA that we found a human poo in the corridor of the school that I worked at. We found a human poo in the corridor. Yes.
Nice.
But yeah, we never did discover the phantom pooper.
Who it was. There was someone walking around with skid marks in their pants that day.
Perhaps so.
I feel we've gone straight in with the poo talk. We've gone in heavy. We've gone in heavy with poo. To be honest, I have more poo stories, but I'm holding back because I feel, you know. After all, this isn't a podcast, is it, Alex? I have to rename it at this rate. Anyway, tell us a bit about the Ministry of Mischief, because the second one comes out next week. Can you just tell the listeners a little bit about it? Take the taste of that poo out of our heads.
Of course, absolutely. So, Ministry of Mischief, Book 2, The Takeover, comes out on the 25th of September. You don't have to have read Ministry of Mischief Book 1 in order to enjoy the adventure. If anyone out there is a bit like me, and if you're a bit unlucky, if you have stubbed your toe or had a paper cut or been pooed on by a bird recently, or if you've missed the bus or had gum stuck to your shoe, or if your shoelaces have come untied, the good news is it's not your fault, because there are cheeky little monsters called imps that creep into our world and cause small misfortunes for humans. 3 of these imps are Stubbs, the imp in charge of stubbed toes, Slice, the imp in charge of paper cuts, and Wears It, the imp in charge of, you know, when you're looking for something for ages and you can't find it, and then it turns out it was in your hand the entire time.
Yes.
They have a horrible shock when they realise that 2 human children can see them.
Oh, no.
And this is the story of Ministry of Mischief Book 1. But don't worry, because they're very clever and they decide they're going to kidnap these children to Imp World and feed them to the king to get rid of them.
Of course.
And then Book 2 poses the question of, if bad luck comes from Imp World, then where does good luck come from? And how would we feel if all we had was good luck? Would it even feel lucky anymore?
Yeah,
what if bad
true.
luck never existed? So these are the kinds of things that I've been exploring. The book is really, really gorgeous. No thanks to me. It's illustrated by amazing illustrator Nick Illich, who is just absolutely wicked. His monster work is so, so good. And he's done such a great job at bringing these crazy characters to life. So if there's any little monsters out there, it is the perfect Key Stage 2 text. So anyone in year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6 is going to absolutely love this one.
It sounds fantastic. And I'm sure I've got a few of those imps in my house, that's for sure. So, Alex, what's the most mischievous thing you've ever done?
The most mischievous thing? My goodness me. I definitely have a mischievous streak in me. And I mean, when I was young, I had gone through like a little bit of a feral phase. Like I was that kid that got in trouble a few times for biting when I was in primary school. You know, I did a lot of I was very into animal games and pretending to be animals. I started a craze at my school, funnily enough, imagining little monsters running around on the desk and like making them crawl around, like mimicking them with my hand.
Brilliant.
And that turned into a whole thing. Got in trouble for climbing the school gate like a spider monkey, and for always running away. And I don't know. I mean, I think that was sort of like almost like my pre-cringe days, like before I was conditioned to try to not be too mischievous.
It's a really nice time, I think, when you're that age, sort of, you know, you're not self-conscious about stuff. You just do stuff. You don't think
exactly
like, what will people think if I do this? It's just so joyful, isn't it? But then you suddenly get to an age, everyone probably reaches it at different ages, where you sort of feel the embarrassment, don't you? Can you think of one of your earliest times where you suddenly kind of felt that, oh God, I'm so cringe?
You know, funnily enough, I mean, I realise that this completely contradicts what I've just told you, but I think that my earliest memory of being embarrassed was an accidental fart as a 4-year-old on the reception carpet.
God. Oh, well, that's always going to be embarrassing at any age, isn't it?
Yes, and I'm wondering actually whether my subsequent bad behaviour was just an effort to like block that out.
Yes.
I kind of do that as an adult now sometimes. If I'm in a difficult situation, then what I would call like my sad clown personality will come out. Like I will try to make people laugh in an acceptable way before I can do something horrible and have people laugh at me for the wrong reason. But certainly, you know, year 5, year 6 sort of age, because by the time I had reached high school, my worst fear was being embarrassed or like being seen to be different from people for the wrong reasons, or to stand out really in any way. And I have actually just thought of something very mischievous that occurred as a teenager.
Okay.
So this must have been kind of like a mask slipping sort of moment. But if you imagine the school playing field in the summer, so everyone was out, everyone was, milling around.
Sitting on the fields.
Yeah. Everyone in there, like the blazers of the high school, so looking like little beetles crawling about, and a friend of mine had a whistle. I don't know why. I don't know if they were a sports leader or something, but I'd gotten hold of it for whatever reason. And when you're about to do something terrible and like in the back of your mind, a voice is like, no, don't do it. And then another voice is like, yeah, but wouldn't it be funny if I did? Anyway, so I blew this whistle fully in the middle of break, in the middle of lunchtime, and everyone filed inside at once. They thought it was a teacher. Yes. I ran for my life.
That's pretty genius, actually.
I felt the power in that moment.
When you saw everyone filing in, I would have been like so pleased with myself. But did you get caught? That's the main thing.
You know what? I didn't. But what I did have to live with was the fear that I had been seen and that it would eventually make its way around to me. So, I think sometimes guilt is punishment in and of itself.
Yeah. And did you destroy the evidence? What happened to the whistle? Did you give it back to the person?
I'm presuming that the person just had the whistle back. To be honest, I can't remember.
So it might have had your DNA on it, Alex. It could still come back now. Now you've revealed it.
You know what? I think what I need to do is I need to find this whistle. I need to dig a hole and bury it deep, and then I need to find the person whose whistle it was.
Yes,
and I need to come home and do another Google search on how to hide a body. So
it's the only way. It's the only solution.
It has to be done. I'm so sorry for cutting this podcast short, EJ. I have to go.
Get out of here.
Yeah. You know what though? You're an accomplice now.
Well, I might be rewarded for finally flushing out the phantom whistler. They might give me a job on the force for these kind of skills. So,
do you think you'd be suited to that? Would you enjoy?
Yeah, as long as I can solve mysteries by just getting people on the Cringe Club podcast and asking them about their embarrassing stories.
I'm sure they'll be cringe detective.
Exactly. So, how about as you went through school? Is there anything you want to get off your chest about any cringes as you got a bit older?
Yeah, I mean, I do have. I think my biggest story was another playing field mishap. I don't know if
what was happening on that playing field.
Oh my God! I mean, listen, there's a certain kind of person, when you're not especially athletic and when you're not especially, physically gifted in terms of coordination. It just kind of becomes that an accident is kind of inevitable, isn't it? Did you play rounders when you were in school?
Unfortunately, well, I say I played. We had to play it for PE, but what I did is just stand right at the back and hope the ball didn't come near me. So that was the extent of my skills.
That was definitely my tactic as well, just because I think of rounders as danger cricket. Because of what happened to me.
Yeah, I was quite scared of the ball myself. So
the ball is so hard, isn't it?
So if it did come near me, I'd just run away. And no one ever picked me on their teams, funnily enough.
No, that's not fair. But it's, I mean, my memory of this incident is, I don't know what had come over me. I think maybe I'd suddenly got aspirations way above my station. In my mind's eye, I was going to be great at this. And the reality was, I had not hit the ball all lesson. Whistle is about to go. Legitimate whistle by the teacher is about to go for us to all go in and get changed. And I have the bat and it's my last chance. So if you imagine, oh gosh.
Yeah.
And the bowler bowls the ball at me. The good news is I hit the ball.
Oh, there you go. That's
Hooray!
good.
End of story. The bad news is, unfortunately, I hit the ball up into my own face, and it hit me between my eyes. And what happened next was a bit of a blur. You know when something so terrible happens in front of everyone and your mind just kind of folds in on itself like a little origami and then kind of disappears into like a pinprick of a black hole and then swallows you up and you're kind of like just gone from mortification. It was kind of one of those moments, but in the seconds that followed, I have no idea where I was. And then the
Maybe
next
you'd
minute,
kind of not just done yourself an injury as well. That probably didn't help.
you know, I think that might have been the case because when I woke up, I was on the grass and my PE teacher, who, bless him, he was a gentleman who looked like his name. His name was Mr. Bullock. And he was staring into my face going like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And literally all I could see was just this circle of legs around me where everyone had been driven to like the scene of the crime, you know, and we're all like just staring down in horror, like seeing everyone from like, you know, the angles of like their chins upwards.
Yeah.
It was quite horrifying actually. I was just like, no, I'm not okay.
Because that must have actually been so painful as well. So
it was terrible.
But I knew those flipping balls were dangerous. No one listened to me when I was at school. They'd say, "Why are you running away? It won't hurt." Oh, well, no, if I'd known you, would have been able to say that is proof.
There you are.
Not unconscious.
Do you know if any of your old school friends or people that you used to know, do you know if any of them have read Cringe Club or listened to your podcast?
I'm not in touch with many people from school, but I've had a couple of author guests who weirdly went to the same school as me who have been on. So I should have asked them about the Rounders balls.
Yes. Well, that can be one in the bank for next time.
Yeah.
But that's cool, though, that your school is churning out authors. That's really cool.
It was a terrible school as well, obviously. But a lot of schools were pretty bad back then, I think, in the 90s. Kids were just a bit feral.
It's a different world, isn't it?
It's a different world.
It's totally different. I revisited my primary school as an adult to go in and do an author event. And it is crazy how much it's changed, you know, how much it is so much safer.
It is. This is the thing
it used to be.
When I tell my teen and tween some of the stories from when I was at school, they are shocked. Most days there was some kind of fight going on. They have security at schools now. So yeah.
It's so bizarre, isn't it? I mean, even just the site itself, like when I was at primary school, there was a low wall and then a graveyard. Like literally the graveyard and a low wall dividing it, and then the school, like little Catholic primary school. They've put up a proper fence now, like a big fence,
to
kind of keep everyone in and keep everyone else out. But I have many memories of running off into that graveyard, which maybe inspired, you know, me writing about vampires and ghosts and ghouls and all the rest of it now. But it's such a different world.
But they still have very dangerous Rounders balls. I have this on good authority. And it's not the only dangerous sport. I think there's a lot of things that could go wrong in all of them. Maybe that's why I hated PE so much. But do you know what? If you know people that do a lot of sport, they've always got bad knees, injuries and things like that. I haven't got any of those things, and I never did any sport. So what does that tell you, PE teachers saying it's good for you?
I have another story for you. This one's funny because it's a grown-up story. Sorry, that is a grown-up story in the sense that I was a grown-up, not the
I didn't think you were going to tell me some kind of adult.
Apologies. It's time for Cringe Club After Dark.
Talking of bulls, Emily Jane, I've got a story for you. No, it's not that. Don't worry. Don't switch off.
No. Please, no one worry. No. So, I've actually only ever broken a bone once, and it was the tiny little bone in the base of my thumb. It's in what's called the snuff box. It's like a little funny bit in the bottom of your thumb. And basically, what happened was when I was a school librarian and a TA, the bell had gone, and I'd realised, I need to go into the maths corridor and tell teacher XYZ this information, and then come back through the library and make my way into year 5 block and go and support this young man in his lesson. So the bell had gone. I had left through the library door, and unbeknownst to me, a little angel had locked the door behind me. So I had gone, spoken to the teacher, I'm laughing just because of how ridiculous this is, come back into the maths corridor and run with the force of a falling comet into this library door that ordinarily would swing open harmlessly. My hand had bent backwards and I was wearing a watch at the time, and I just heard like the most horrible sound.
Oh my God.
It was not good.
That's gruesome.
But then I'd gone through the whole day, as you do. You just get on with it, don't you? Especially if you're a TA. TAs know it doesn't matter what happens. We just carry on, you know. And then I got home and I was like, oh, my hand is a bit fat.
Oh no, it's
which maybe
yeah.
It isn't too unusual, perhaps, because my other one was a bit fat too. And that is the story of how I broke my hand. So not doing anything.
Okay, so that's annoying that you don't get a big exciting story for it.
Yes, although I did lie. I did tell the children that I'd been wrestling a wolf. Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Actually, I've broken bones once from getting hit by a bus. So it is a more exciting story, but I've got a massive scar on my arm. One of the injuries was an open fracture, so the bone came out. So it's like a dent in my arm. And I do tell children I got bitten by a shark because it's like the perfect look of that. But actually getting hit by a bus, I think that's a pretty good story too.
I think that is. I mean, that's like a Regina George. You know, Mean Girls, she gets hit by a bus, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I'm really glad that you're okay. How old were you?
It was about 15 years ago, so a long time ago.
I'm glad that you're all right.
I always say, what are the chances of that happening, getting hit by a bus? Just shows you it's not as rare as people make out. But but back to the cringes. I will share the full story another time, but I suppose it's not really cringy. The cringiest thing about it was when I woke up, I remembered I'd taken some chicken out of the freezer for dinner. I remember saying to one of the doctors, the chicken. They thought I was delirious. But I don't think I realised how ill I was.
No, you never.
Yeah.
You never do you? And I think as well in the hospital setting. I mean, I had an operation in April of this year. Very, very small, very, nothing to worry about. And I've recovered really well and I'm absolutely fine. But one of the first things that I was very worried about, having come around from anaesthesia, was asking the nurse whether or not the doctor had looked at my private parts while I was out, and she was lovely. She reassured me that no, Dr. Nicole did not look at your private parts. It's all right. I was worried that she'd think that everything looked a bit weird from the way that I was lying. Like I wanted to look nice for the doctor, and I was like, oh, has she seen? Do I look a bit weird?
Well, was it a planned operation? Did you have time to do your bikini line and all that just in case?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
listen,
right,
it was
you were ready to rock down there.
I was like a dolphin. It was gorgeous.
You sound like you almost wanted the doctors to have a look just so they could admire your nice, neat. Package.
I mean, I imagine that because obviously at this point I was unconscious and I'd gone under, and what I like to imagine is that when they removed the gown so that they could operate on me, a beam of light fell down and the flowers were wafting in the breeze, and then outside somewhere a baby smiled and angels were singing and this, that and the other. So that is what I envision. But I suspect that the reality was a little bit less glamorous.
And I have a feeling maybe the doctors are too busy, putting us back together to.
I think so. Although there was a student doctor actually who asked me beforehand for permission to do an exam while I was unconscious, that will have involved
yes.
private things.
Exactly.
And at the time, I was just like, yeah, that's fine. And then when I came around, I was like, what happened?
What happened down there? I bet they only asked you because you were all, neat and tidy. They were that impressed.
Yeah, they must have looked at me and they must have thought, she's a woman who's got her act together. But little did they know. I bet like bats flew out and,
oh God,
all
it's gotta be. It's gotta be. I bet they've seen all sorts. I don't know how we've got onto this. But it's all good.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's me.
You're doing a good job. No.
Little encouragement to get talking about these kind of things, as you may have noticed.
You're keeping this ship on course. I can feel it. You're holding us together.
Just about. But is there anything else that stands out that you feel like you need to sort of get off your chest today?
Oh gosh, I mean, where to begin, really? I mean, I think as an adult, I've semi-embraced my cringe. I think it's more like an acceptance, rather than necessarily embracing it. I think I've just come to understand that my personality is naturally quite daft. And I am the type as well to kind of like walk along sort of mumbling to myself and chuckling, which sometimes I think, people find a little bit off-putting. But in general, I'll be thinking about, something that I've read or something that I'm going to write or something of the like. There was a particular incident at Sutton Station, so just south of London, where I fully ate it on the steps coming up out of the station, which does happen every now and again in train stations. People take a tumble and that's fine. But I had fallen up the steps. I had with me my little hard shelled suitcase, and when I tell you that it banged and clattered all the way to the bottom, so I'd waited until the very top before I fell. And then it went all the way to the bottom, and I looked down at it and I just thought to myself, I actually considered leaving it. I thought to myself, that's it, it's done. I'm just going to have to leave it.
That's it now. That's it.
That's it. It's over. I just need to pick up and leave because everyone was staring. I did go down and I did fetch it. But I'm also the person who has trailed an astonishingly long piece of toilet paper through the London Underground.
Classic.
like a cartoon, ridiculous. Like how people must have made a deliberate effort not to step on it in order to keep me trailing it after me.
Maybe that they thought that's just where you keep your tissues. So they were being very nice.
Yes, I mean British people are very polite.
Yes,
so
and actually that would be quite helpful on your travels because a lot of the time these toilets are no loo roll, so you've got your own little bundle on your shoe.
That is very, very true. And then if I have one more tip for you, especially as we move into winter, after you have washed your lovely winter coats ready for the bad weather, do check the sleeves. Because I'm also now remembering of a time when I had been on my way to work, wearing a coat that had just been through the washing machine, and a clean pair of my underpants had fallen out the sleeve.
Oh, okay.
While I was in the middle of a crowded pavement.
Yeah.
And I did leave those behind, EJ. I didn't stop and pick them up. I just left them.
That is so weird because I am also a knicker dropper. So I had been staying in a hotel. You have that quick check once you've packed. I always pack, and then I think I bet I've left something.
Keys, phone, wallet.
Yeah, exactly. Knickers. I saw this pair of knickers. I was like, I can't believe I didn't pack them, but I'd already packed, and I was in a rush to get a train. So I picked up the knickers, put them in my coat pocket. But on the way to the train, I was getting stuff out of my pockets, keys, making sure things were there, and they must have fallen out. But the worst thing was, someone came up behind me and said, "You just dropped something. You just dropped something out of your pocket."
No.
And I turned round, saw the knickers, and for some reason, instead of just owning it and saying, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Oh no, they're not mine." And so she went, "Oh no, I definitely saw them come out of your pocket." And then I should have just said, "Okay, yeah, thank you," but I didn't. I was like, "Oh, someone must have put them in there."
At some point, you just need to double down.
I know.
Double down, triple down, deny everything.
Yes. I know. I mean, we both knew she had seen me drop them out of there.
I think it's so easily done.
It is. It's happened to the best of us, clearly.
Clearly.
I'm glad it's not just me. So thank you. You've made me feel much better about that, because I still feel quite embarrassed talking about it. So,
a cringe shared is a cringe halved.
Exactly. And that is what we're doing here in the club. I mean, it's supposed to be for my guests to get their cringes off their chest, but you have helped me with one of mine. So thank you very much, Ali.
I enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
So have you got anything else to get off your chest?
Yeah. I'd like to apologise to the child I nearly squashed playing football. As a TA on the school playing field. I'm going to age myself now. I suddenly thought I was David Beckham, running with this football. But this small child came flying in from the side. It was like something out of Kung Fu Hustle. Like he just sort of floated along the ground, kicked my legs out from underneath me, and I fell down, and it was like a tree falling over. Very, very nearly squashed him flat in front of where all of the teachers were sat outside the staff room in the sunshine. So that was very unfortunate. I'd like to apologise to him.
Thank you.
I'd also like to apologise to the little boy who was very upset on his first day in year 5, and I had bent down to comfort him, and gravity had caught hold of me, and I toppled backwards onto my bum.
Okay, well, at least you didn't crush him. It could have been worse. You didn't fall forward.
He wasn't in the firing line, so he was all right. He was one that survived, one of few that survived me.
Yeah,
and
okay. You're just taking them out wherever you go. Watch out. That is true. Watch out, kids. If you see Alex coming your way,
you better run.
You better run.
You better run.
The crusher is coming.
I've locked the doors at the back of the school hall. There's no getting away. And finally, I will apologise to the workshop full of lovely Year 7, Year 8, Year 9 students that I saw at the beginning of the summer. I started the session by snorting my cup of tea up both nostrils, spraying tea and snot and tears all over the table, which I think did somewhat ruin my academic mystique. But they handled it very, very well. I did not. Mascara everywhere, tea everywhere. But they were very, very patient with me. And I just want to thank them sincerely for their efforts that day, because I do still think about it. I don't think my sinuses have fully recovered, to be honest.
No.
I still can smell tea every now and again for some reason.
Yes, I mean, it happens to the best of us. Were you laughing, and did it come out, or did it just go down the wrong hole?
I think I was probably already chatting, because I just kind of talk a mile a minute. So I think I probably breathed wrong. Either that, or I was just very enthusiastic about my tea.
Maybe it's a particularly nice cup, because actually you don't always get a cup of tea when you visit schools, do you? So when you do, it's such a treat. And when it's a nice tea as well, it's like
exactly.
It's like you've won the lottery.
I really, really judge a school on whether or not I'm offered a cup of tea.
Oh gosh.
Because I have been to a school, and this is not a cringe story. This is just, a not very nice thing that happened. But I did have one school where I had arrived after quite a difficult time getting there in the morning, and the teacher had looked me up and down and gone, I suppose you're going to want a cup of tea then, and to visit the loo before we chuck you in with everyone. And she did not collect me to go and have a break afterwards either, so I was just kind of meandering around with my red lanyard.
It's quite a thing. I think a lot of schools are really busy. They're all rushing around. No one's got time. I've often just been left and everyone seems to have forgotten you. I've been there and they've gone, call Mrs. So-and-so. What? We've got the author here. What author? What author? Is there an author here today? Who's she seeing? What's she doing? I'm like,
we've picked up a stray author.
I know. They're looking at me and they're just sit there in reception. I'm
like a little lost orphan. I think I've been so lucky, because just about every school I've visited has been absolutely fantastic. But what that does mean is that the few, I could count them on one hand, but I remember.
I don't know if you know the author Ben Davis. He's been in on the he's hilarious. He came in the club when he went to a school. So they thought he'd come for the interview for the geography teacher.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, we
I
all
just love him. He is so funny.
he is really funny.
I saw him at the Young Teen Fiction Awards as I was a librarian, just watching him, and he was a big inspiration for me. Basically, I saw him talking, and I thought I could do that. I could get up and spew a load of nonsense, and write
Are you
a
calling
weird
Ben Davis's talks a load of nonsense?
Yeah, I think he'd agree.
I think he would agree. I mean, that's all we're doing, isn't it? We're writing and talking nonsense. I am living the dream because I love talking nonsense. So
yes, very much so.
There you go, and occasionally getting a cup of tea for it. So
the perfect
can't
payment.
Be bad. Exactly. So is there anything else before we move on to Cringes Anonymous, where we help out people with their cringes?
My goodness me. I think I might be ready, I think I might be.
Sure? Do you have any cringy hobbies or habits you want to admit to?
Oh my God.
We've had someone who keeps things in jars, lots of pickling going on, which,
lots of
is actually quite cool when I was hearing about what was being pickled.
I love to eat a pickle. I think if I was into pickling, I think I'd just eat all the pickle.
Yeah,
I'd open my mouth like Jaws and it'd just all be gone,
What's your favourite? What's your favourite pickle?
Oh gosh,
thing?
My goodness me! I think probably pickled cauliflower.
What? Oh, that's outside of the box. I'm just thinking pickled onions, gherkins. Is that something you have to pickle yourself, or can you get these?
No, so you can get it in a jar of mixed. Think misc pickle.
Oh,
but it's in there, and it is very delicious. In fact, we've got some in the fridge. I'm sorry if I'm I'm salivating, everybody.
It sounds delicious. I won't lie. As a pickle lover, I'm going to be hunting down the pickled cauliflower because cauliflower's pretty boring. But put it in a pickle. Bet you've got something special there.
It's very nice, and we should be sponsored by Sarson's.
Yes.
Sarson's mixed pickle. And I think Hayward's doing mixed pickle.
Hayward's do a good gherkin. They do the big fat ones, big fat gherkins, which I do.
Fan of a fat Hayward's gherkin? That sounds good.
Yeah. And they're quite trendy now, the pickled gherkins. You can go, there's one of those novelty sweet shops in the town where I live. And they come they sell pickles in the sweet shop. Not sweetie pickles, actual pickles. Like you buy one and they're giant. I can't remember what they're called. And they're not really nice.
Saw on TikTok there is a pickle wizard.
A pickle wizard?
Yeah, so it's his job to go to all of the the Ren Fair, the Dungeons and Dragons fantasy-esque kind of things. And he is a pickle wizard. He has a barrel full of pickles.
Right.
And if you go to him and purchase a pickle for $1, he will do a little ritual and present you with this pickle.
Oh, that's very unusual.
Yes. But that is a thing. That is a thing.
See, I'm telling you, pickles are the new black. I think the pickle wizard is onto something.
The pickle wizard, yeah.
I thought you meant he used a pickle for his magic wand. That's what I was picturing. If he doesn't, he's missed a trick, hasn't he? Let's face it.
He should, and juggle with them and stuff and make them levitate.
Yeah. You could do all sorts with those pickles.
He definitely should. I mean, I would love to go to one of these Ren Fair things because I've never been, but I am an avid player of Dungeons and Dragons. I do a lot of different things. I don't feel that it's necessarily a cringy hobby. It's not as cringy as my secret fanfiction account.
Well,
but it's still out there, I think.
Yeah, I cringe. I think at this age, I think we just embrace our cringy hobbies. I collect badges, and I think that's pretty cool.
I am right there with you. I think it's nice to be able to kind of embrace things that you might have enjoyed when you were young, but didn't necessarily have the opportunity to. So I do a lot of journaling. I make little things out of crochet. So I'm showing EJ on the camera a little frog that I crocheted.
It's very good.
And he's wearing a little jumper. Thank you.
That's quite
Clearly,
a skill. That's not. I don't think that's cringy because I think that's very clever. I can't do anything like that.
No, I collect postcards.
I collect them as well. So I've got all the collections, rubbers, pencil sharpeners. When I was a kid, everything.
Yep.
I used to be a big collector back in the day.
It's good to enjoy. You have to enjoy your life, and I think as long
Yeah,
as you're not hurting anyone else,
exactly.
you just do whatever you wanna do. You have to be yourself.
I've had to get rid of some of my collections though, because obviously when you move house, go off to places, you don't have the room. Because my best
Mm.
collection of the biggest amount of things was I used to collect leaflets. So, you know, if they came through the door when I was a kid, or if you go to Tesco, I had thousands, I had drawers full. But obviously, when I left home, the leaflets had to go.
Oh,
So, yeah,
EJ, I
I'm
mean,
still
that
sad
is a
about
little
that.
bit. You know, what might be a nice compromise for that? Have you thought about
Mm.
scrapbooking?
Well, yeah, but then needed lots of scrapbooks. When a leaflet comes through the door now, I get a little flutter.
Do you? A
But
little rush of
I do, I get a
excitement.
rush, but no, I can't go back there again.
You can't go back
And
to
I
that.
can't go back. There's too much stuff with two kids in the house now, I'd have no room.
Mhm. I
But
understand.
anyway, we have
Alas.
a listener who has, got a dilemma, and I think we've established we're cringe veterans here. So
Very much so.
and actually, this is quite relevant to your very first cringe. So you might be the perfect person to help with this.
I'm
So
ready.
here goes. I was in the lunch queue in the canteen when a boy next to me farted and everyone thought it was me. I denied it, but he didn't own up. So now everyone thinks I'm the lunch break bum burper. Will I ever get over this?
Oh, my goodness
That's
me.
that's tough because it would be you were embarrassed at 4 and but
Yes.
you did actually do the fart, but this poor person didn't actually even do it.
It's they're innocent. So
Yeah.
it's the injustice of it all, that is just absolutely so unbelievably unfair. What I would say is this: here's what you need to do, all right? Next time you're in the lunch queue, you need to find this boy, stand next to him, and return fire. It's very
Ah,
important.
clever.
And however loud his fart was, yours
Yeah.
needs to be twice as loud because you need to establish dominance in this situation.
It's a lot of beans for breakfast, yeah.
Yes, 100%. If you are able to, that will be the best revenge.
Yeah, that's
Otherwise,
perfect.
what I would say is this time next week, no one will care. No one will care,
Exactly.
no one will remember
Yeah.
because someone else will have come along, probably like a younger version of me or EJ with all the leaflets,
Exactly,
will have
exactly.
come along and done something 10 times worse.
Yeah,
I think when you're young, everything feels like the end of the world and it's all these like
definitely.
big feelings and all of it,
Yeah.
the enormity of everything kind of comes crashing down on you. Whereas when you're older, what you realize is no one will remember.
No,
No one
totally,
really cares.
exactly. But I do like the fart revenge idea as well. But I think the mistake that they did make was denying it, because of course everyone knows the one who denied it supplied it. That's the rule. That's what we used to say at school.
If we didn't fart, we'd die.
Exactly. So actually think of
So
it that way. That boy in the queue has survived
he
another
has.
to live another day.
He has,
Um,
it
so
might have been the end of him if he didn't unleash it.
exactly.
But I
So
do
what you're
think
saying is farts should be celebrated.
that is true. I think
Yeah,
farts should be celebrated. I still think it was wrong of him to embarrass our anonymous
totally. Yeah,
submitter, and therefore he does deserve revenge
he
that will
does.
be
He
coming,
does. It will be coming.
Um, so just what I would say is forgive but don't forget.
I
And
like
the
that.
moment may come when you have one in the tank and he is positioned nearby, and that is your time to
Yes. Run
strike. So
over.
just bear it in mind. If you can do a little jump as you do it, that would be even better.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. I knew you'd have a brilliant answer for that. So thank you very much, Alex.
No worries.
And that's it. That brings us to the end of the show. Now, how do you
Oh,
feel?
I feel quite liberated. I feel lighter. I feel like I could jump up from my sofa and do a little fart. I feel like
Brilliant.
I could go run out into the street and throw my pants all over the road.
That's amazing, because that's what I want people to leave this show and do. So you get out there, you let those farts free, you throw those knickers about and hide that whistle, obviously, as well, Alex.
Dig a hole and hide the whistle, yes.
So you've got a busy weekend.
I'm going to be extremely busy.
But thank you so much for coming.
I've had a lovely time with you. Thank you
really
so much.
It's really nice to meet you.
It was lovely
I'll
to meet
see
you
again soon. Bye.
Take care.
Thanks again to Alex for joining us today. Don't forget to check out her brilliant books, Rules for Vampires and the Ministry of Mischief. The new one, The Takeover, is available for pre-order and out next week. If you want a bit more cringe, then why not order up my book, Cringe Club, a new funny book series for tweens that's written entirely in group chat. And if you have any cringe dilemmas you would like help with, then please DM me on Instagram or email me at cringeclubcrew@gmail.com and we will be happy to help. See you next time. Keep on cringing, everyone.